Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the penultimate round of the UK&I Monday Night Skippys, live here on RaceSpotTV in support of the COMSO and the campaign against living miserably. Tonight we are at the Circuit of the Americas located in Austin, Texas, United States of Americas, but we will be using the West layout, so we're skipping a bit of that very long straightaway. But we're still keeping the hairpin at the start and the S's and some of the overtaking opportunities at the end, so it should be an amazing race for you guys here tonight. And at the moment we have 20 cars signed up for the race. Hopefully everybody starts a bit lower than the last few races, but should still be a good one. At the moment out qualifying, and what a surprise, Ryan. Adam Miles currently on pole position here again tonight.
Yeah, it's not really surprising when you think about it. He's been one of the quickest drivers in the Skippy this season, and yeah, doing well in the championship, because as you can see at the moment he's got a 40 point gap to second place Nathan Wade, who is the only person that can challenge him for the championship now. But thinking about it, and if my maths is correct, Adam Miles only has to finish in P6 tonight, P6 tonight in front of Wade to, or basically finish in P6 to take the championship and have it wrapped up before Branch Hats. But we've still got this round tonight to go, so, and anything can happen as we know in this Monday Night Skippys League.
Yeah, they're using some drop weeks as well, so we'll have to do some math there. But Adam Miles coming off 3 straight victories at Mid-Ohio Nürburgring and the Red Bull Ring, so he's definitely got all the momentum that he needs. And as you can see here, he is on top at the moment by just over a tenth, but there's only 1 minute left of the session, and I think most drivers are on their final laps, and as you can see everybody's spinning here, trying to complete their final laps. We're gonna see if we can find anybody who's out on track. When Roberts is stopped further down the field, pretty much everybody has completed their laps, so unless David Clapham is out doing something spectacular, which he will not be able to do because it's only half a minute left, we will have Adam Miles on pole position again. And like you said, a 40 point lead. He's dropping a 23 and a 28 at the moment though, while Wade is dropping a 28 and a 12, so 9 points less there, so he would be leading by 31 points, counting 2 drop weeks, actually 26, so yeah, 29, 28 something points. We'll have to look at that later on, but if everything goes his way, he will definitely be clinching that tonight. So just waiting for the time to run out of here, and it just did. So it should be about time to go through the starting grid. Here it is. Adam Miles on pole position once again, with Nicholas von Roberts in second, Nathan Wade in third, with Kevin Budgeon in fourth, George Mattock in fifth, and Rebecca Bell making her first appearance here, I think, in P6. Seth Brown in seventh, Terry McGrother in eighth, Patrick Bennett in ninth, and Martin Armitage rounding out the top 10. Jeff Randall in 11th, Chris Wayne in 12th, we have Greg Ruff in 13th, Dave Dowson in 14th, Tim Adcock 15th, Dave Devine 16th, Alan Patterson in 17th, Steven Nobis in 18th, and then Ollie Pimley in 19th and David Clapham in 20th. And those last 3 did not set a time, but I think they're all here, so we should have a 20 car grid here tonight. And as you can see, they're already lining up. They've still got over a minute, but once the last car hits the grid, we will be going. And it doesn't look like they're lined up very well in those boxes. As you can see, this one's halfway out of it, but as long as they're in the right position, actually he's way behind it as well, so that is completely out of position. But I guess they're all lined up in a good manner anyway, according to iRacing, so it should be all fine. At the front, though, we're waiting for the pole sitter, as just to see pops up there, that's Adam Miles. See if we're waiting for anybody else. I think that's it. Engines are revving, red lights are on, and we are racing in Texas. It's a good getaway there for third place Nathan Wade, but they're still going to be single file here. Mattock up the inside of Kevin Budgeon will take over fourth, and there's a dive from further back there, 3, almost 4 wide coming through here, and somebody made up quite a few spots there. Not sure if that was Brown or Grother, but it's kicking off right away here, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely is, and yeah, let's say I thought everyone would have wanted to settle down, but not everyone wants to try and go at it at the moment as they come through this tight, difficult, twisty section. And yeah, a couple of cars there going side by side, which is a bit brave, but is just about halfway around lap 1 already. It's still Miles leading from Vaughan Roberts, and Adam Miles, I think he's... Oh, someone spun in the background. I think that's Patrick Bennett.
Very unfortunate early spin there, but yeah, we'll have to see how these guys are able to work this out now to see who that was that spun out. If we can get something, a couple of cars wide back there as well, but yeah, the first 4 cars has pulled away a pretty decent gap here. I think that might have been that was probably Patrick Bennett, because he is dropping quite far back, but he's going again. He's at the back of the pack, so everybody is still running. Nobody's out as far as I can see, but these front 4 drivers here, from George Mattock up to Adam Miles, they kind of benefited from that chaos at the start there with 3 and 4 wide at the back. So looks like that those are the 4 guys that will be racing for the win here tonight, even though we're only 1 lap through this 14-lap race.
Yep, as they come across the line now to complete lap 1, it's still Miles leading from Vaughan Roberts, but I think Vaughan Roberts has got the run. He might try and make a move into turn 1 as yeah, this is the only real passing opportunity to make a move, as yeah, indeed it looks like Vaughan Roberts is up the inside heading into turn 1. Can he get the move done? Yes, he can, and but Miles tries to do a switchback, and he does that switchback beautifully as they head down the hill, heading up to the S's section. And I think Adam Miles, if he pulls this move off heading into it, it'll be brave but gutsy. And can he get the move done? Yes, he can.
I think I saw 3 wide behind these guys as well for 5th and 6th and 7th. They're coming into the SS. One of those cars is going off now as they're getting single file. Not really sure what's going on back there. Bit of a weird rejoin, but that's Kevin Budgeon. He started in 4th. He's now all the way down to 11th, and they were 3 wide going into the SS there, but somehow they managed to work it out into that little chicane. Now he will gain a spot back as we see Nathan Wade here coming back on or down in through turn number 10, locks up a little bit there in 3rd place. But Mattock right on the back of him, and Mattock has had so many wins slip away now. And was there contact behind? There was. Dave Devine and Tim Adcock have got stuck together around turn 10. Now they get hit by somebody as well. So 2 cars, one of them actually towed out of there, but you can see Patrick Bennett here still parked across the track. See if we're going to get a replay of that, because they literally got stuck together. Here's Dowson, locks up massively, and I believe that was the lap before probably. So here is Kevin Budgeon though in the grass, and yeah, that was the rejoin that we saw earlier. Great job keeping it out of the racing line there, definitely.
Absolutely. As still look at a replay of Dave Devine as well, and it looks like something might have happened to him as well as he heads into the hoop, and I think he might get tagged, and yeah, he gets tagged around.
That was the cars that got stuck together, and they just couldn't get out of there. That's very unfortunate, and as we saw there as well, George Mattock just set the fastest lap of the race. And here's another replay, Seth Brown going slow, might have had a slowdown or something. That front wing is damaged as well, so that could be suspension damage. But that's actually right behind that incident. That's interesting. But back to live pictures here, I believe. Here we go, lap number 3. They're going at it for this is for 5th place. That's Rebecca Bell holding on to 5th, just ahead of Terry McGrother in 6th, and Jeff Randall, Armitage and Budgeon back there trying to keep up. And I don't think I've ever seen Rebecca Bell in this series, Ryan. I might be wrong, but you recognise that name?
I've never saw her name before. I've never saw her on track in the Monday Night Skippy, so I think this could be her first appearance in the league. So, but nevertheless, still doing well in 6th position for her first race in the league, and yeah, not letting the pressure get to her. And at the moment, doing pretty well as a rider on board with her at the moment, and yeah, just behind the 6th position, Jeff Randall as well. Jeff Randall, a name I recognise that I've raced with in another Skip Barber league, and always a consistent driver, and doing well sitting in P6 at the moment.
He definitely is. 2 drivers there definitely looking to score their first top 5. So obviously Rebecca's first race, so it would be her first top 5 if she gets it. But at the moment, Terry McGrother has gotten through, and Geoff Randall as well. And at the front, though, it is still the same 4 guys. So we're just going to stick with these guys here. And Gal, Groffer gets a little bit wide there. Here comes Bell, now going to have a look on the inside, and that should be a pretty easy pass, I think, with the slipstream from the car in front. She's actually going to be clear going into the braking zone there. So back up into P6 for Rebecca, now trying to catch back up to Terry here to start a lap. But it's so important to get the line right through these left, right, left S's here. And it might not be as important in these cars because they're not going quite as fast, but I still think if you miss the line a little bit too much, you're going to lose out. You can see McGruth there, or Randall, sorry, getting a little bit sideways. That's going to drop him back slightly from Rebecca, but he's still going to be within touching distance. Goes wide there on the red, then in through the tight little chicane and onto the short little bit of the back straightaway that we're using. You can see now the gap between Geoff and Rebecca has opened up massively because he got out of line once in the S's, and that pretty much messes up all the upcoming corners as well. So Rebecca now can fully focus on Terry ahead, trying to get back up into P number 5.
There's battle for P5 is going on at the moment with Terry McGruth and Bell and Randall and Budgeon as well. And Budgeon, one of the driver that had that big moment through the S's, having to go through the gap, through the gravel rather, and but managed to keep it together. But it's, I have to agree, it's one of those tracks that if you get it wrong, especially for that S's section and heading onto that back section, you can lose a little bit of momentum. And also with this layout of track as well, or track in general, it's so easy to run wide and get an off track or even a slowdown. So it's something these drivers need to be careful of. As Nick Vaughan Roberts is going for the move on Adam Miles heading up to turn 1 yet again, and it's I think this is going to be the theme of the race pretty much on this home straight. Drivers switching around, and Adam Miles has to be careful though because his championship rival Nathan Wade is not too far behind in 3rd place. So if Adam Miles slips off or gets caught up with Vaughan Roberts, Wade, the championship advantage could swing in Wade's favour, but still a long way to go in this race.
Definitely is. They're side by side now in through the S's though, and looks like Miles might be having the advantage here of a double inside going onto that back straightaway, but Vaughan Roberts holds on the outside, side by side through. She can almost contact there, high on the curve. That's going to allow Nathan Wade to come in there though and pass Nicholas Vaughan Roberts for 2nd. So now Wade is right behind his championship rival, unless Vaughan Roberts holds it on the outside. Here is Matic as well now, trying to find a way through, and Wade, instead of going up to 2nd, might be dropping to 4th, because here is Matic up the inside. Wade gets a little bit sideways, but he looks like he'll hold on for now. Matic goes back into 4th, so they're back to single file, the same order as they were coming across the start finish line, but these guys are definitely going at it. Matic going for his first win, Wade needing all the points he can get. Well, Miles basically just needs to make it to the finish line here to have at least almost secure this. We have something has happened here between the 9 of Rebecca Bell and the 11 of Martin Armitage. Armitage wing looks to be scraping the floor, as well as the whole front of his car, and Rebecca's front wing is damaged as well, so they will have had something happen between them. That suspension looks a bit damaged. She still has some decent pace here though, as she gets passed by that 79 car Patrick Bennett, but I think she's going to pull into pit lane here because that wing is scraping all over the floor, throwing sparks behind the car, and that is not the way it's supposed to look. So not the way she wanted to make her first appearance here in the Monday Night Skippies, but she definitely showed some good pace, and incidents can happen to anyone.
Yeah, so it's so easy to have an incident, especially around this track, and with the cars being so close together, and it's just unfortunate. Not the way that she wanted to make her debut in the league, but still, I think she'll get a fast repair or a new car basically, so she'll be able to get going again. So not completely out of it, but as I look up back up at the front of the top 4, still coming through the exit of that S's section, and it's all really close at the moment, and they've pretty much just pulled away from the rest of the pack behind them as Vaughan Roberts tries to show his nose there and tries to intimidate Adam Miles ever so slightly, just trying to rattle him slightly. But at the moment, Miles is coping with the pressure brilliantly, and it's I think Miles is kind of just playing the sensible option if they're not fighting Vaughan Roberts too much if he gets a run.
The championship battle is still very much on, if I'm not mistaken here, counting the drop weeks. Nathan Wade is 13 points less behind, so only 27, so that means that Miles can definitely lock up the championship here tonight, and Wade will definitely need to win both these races, but Miles is in a position to do that, and he's currently leading here. So I think if Wade finishes 4th, it will be very, very close. I'll have to look into that a little bit closer, but we're only 6 laps into this 14-lap race, so still a long way to go. And here is Nicholas von Roberts going to look to the inside and make that pass again. And just because I say that, yeah, there we go, he pulls out and up the inside. Wade has a look as well, wants to come through. He knows he needs to finish ahead of Adam Miles if he wants anything to do with that championship. Miles holds it on the outside though. Here comes Matic, not going to go 3 wide in through the S's, but Wade and Miles going to be side by side for second, and these are the two fighting for the championship. Nicholas von Roberts is a little bit too far behind to have anything to do with first place, unfortunately, so all he can do is just win this race. And there goes Wade through as well, and here comes Matic now, peeking up the inside of Adam Miles, way up on the curb there. Is that even legal? I wonder if he might get a slowdown here. He backs out, and that is probably it for George Matic's chances here, unless something happens up ahead, because that slowdown definitely putting back behind. Wonder if he might still be in drafting range though, that could help him, but he definitely did not need that slowdown at that point.
Yeah, but that's the thing with scrapping heading into that S section as well. You're just you're basically just compromising your entry and compromising your speed, and unfortunately that's what George Matic found out as well. If you scrap away too much through there, you'll just compromise yourself, and unfortunately it's ended up falling back. So at the moment, and also as well, where Miles and Wade battling through the S section has allowed Von Roberts to pull away ever so slightly and just build a little bit of a gap. So that's what happens if you scrap away too much.
Yeah, they've spread out quite a bit here now, up at the front, and like you said, Von Roberts has got a bit of a gap now. Miles goes a bit sideways there as well, trying to catch up to Nathan, halfway this time by. So Von Roberts definitely in a good position here. He's got just about 1 second back to Nathan Wade, and you can see 5th, 6th and 7th back there. That's pretty much the only other close battle that we've got here. So trying to follow with the front 3, see if they get closed up a little bit here. Miles looks like he's closer to Wade than he was going on to the front straightaways least, so we could see something happening here. I don't think he wants to scrap away too much before they catch up to the lead. Here's Budgeon as well on the back of Terry McGrother and Geoff Randall right behind. These guys are a little bit closer, but still not close enough to make a move by the looks of it. See what he can do here, coming onto that little bit of a back straightaway. Not enough to get draft, but if he can get a good line through the SS here, he might be close enough to make a move come the end of this lap.
Yep, absolutely. As looking at Kevin Budgeon as well, and on a bit of a recovery drive at the moment, actually just actually throws the car right through the exit there, and just tries to gain as much momentum as possible. As I thought he was going to try and make a move there, but at the moment they can't really do anything, especially through this tight twisty section, and kind of stop-start, as I like to call it. As I think his best opportunity for Budgeon is on the home straight if he can get a good exit.
Yeah, I'm going to take back what I said earlier as well about Nicholas von Roberts. He's dropping a 4 and a 17 in the championship, so he's very much in this. He is actually only, what is that, 29 points behind our championship leader Adam Miles, 2 points behind Nathan Wade, counting 2 drop weeks. So he is definitely in this championship just as much as Nathan Wade, but at the moment we have Terry McGrother and Kevin Budgeon here still going at it for 5th place, and the closest battle we have on track is Adam Miles sets the fastest lap of the race there, 1:43.439. That's about half a second quicker than our pole time for the race, so good lap there. Obviously got help from the draft, but the A team staying behind here coming up the hill might want to wait until the next lap. They've still got over 5 laps to go, almost 6 full laps to go here. So Kevin Budgeon taking it easy, not letting Geoff Randall catch up too much to this battle, keeping it a 2-car battle for now, as he has a tight line there coming over the crest into the S's. Completely different lines through here, and that was where I wonder if he missed that or if he did that on purpose. He dropped back a little bit, so I think he might have just missed the line, and as you saw there again, he missed the line going into the SS, and that compromised the whole section, but he's still able to be pretty close coming onto the back straightaway here into turn number 10, 11, 12, which is some good overtaking opportunities if you're close enough, but he is not, and You can see the leaders there on the other side of the fence, still pretty spread out, and George Matic has actually dropped back a little bit now, 3.5 seconds off our leader Nicholas von Roberts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just unfortunate for Matic there, and after being in the battle in the early stage of the race, but that's just that's the thing with this track as well. If you fall back ever so slightly and lose that draft, you've basically got no hope, as Matic just runs a little bit wide there, but nothing major. But I think Matic could be feeling slightly frustrated now.
Yeah, it was a pretty unnecessary slowdown he got himself there, and with these guys ahead being spread out, there is no way for him to catch up, basically, unless they make mistakes or somehow get closer together. As we see Wade again lock up there, we see him do that quite a lot this season. I'm not sure if he's running the brake bias too far forward or something. Meanwhile, Budgeon, as you saw there on the timing as well, just overtook MacArthur down the front straight away, so nothing special, just getting the draft and coming past. But looks like MacArthur is going to try and get that back. Takes a lot of height going into the S's here, or approaching the S's, trying to get some sort of an overlap, but again, you can see them using different lines into the S's now, though they're in the exact same line. The 18 looks a little bit more sideways than the 888 though, so this is going to be interesting to follow as we're into the 5 last laps here of this race. But the 888 looks a little bit faster through the S's somehow, but now the 18 is ahead, so the 888 will need to make the move. Terry MacArthur, and he started in 8th while Kevin Budgeon started in 4th, and Budgeon was all the way down in the 11th early on after a mistake, so he is definitely on the recovery drive and should be the faster of the two. But I don't think Terry has any intention of giving up here, as he has the opportunity to score a top 5. And just going to check real quick if how many top 5s he's actually got, because we usually see him a little bit further down the order, don't we?
Yeah, it's I think this is probably Terry's best race of or best run of the season so far. I think good to see him up there, up in 6th place, but Kevin Budgeon not getting away as much as I thought he would, and I think Terry might just be, if he can stick with Kevin, he might just be sitting there until maybe the final lap or the final couple of laps, just planning what he's going to do. As Adam Miles puts in the fastest lap of the race so far, so even though Miles is in 3rd, he's still pushing, and I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to make a move on Nathan Wade towards the end of the race, maybe heading into the final lap. But as the two of them are closing back up to Nick von Roberts as well, up at the front, as it looks like MacArthur is going for a move up the inside. Can he get it done? And they're side by side on the exit.
A good move there, but he can't keep it up alongside us. The outside line gets the better speed coming down the hill, and going back to Terry MacArthur there. He has 18 starts in the UK&I Monday Night Skippys. His best finish was in his first ever start. He finished P11th. After that, his best finish is P15, P17, and P17 last time out at Snetterton, where he raced. So, and a P14 actually in season 1 as well. So a P5 or 6 here would be his best finish ever by a mile. So I think he's having the race of his life here. He's going to get his first top 10 without a doubt, unless he crashes out, and getting that into the first top 5 as well would be amazing for him. See if he pops in for an interview afterwards if that happens, but kind of rooting for him here now against Kevin Budgeon. Got nothing against Kevin obviously, but it's always fun to see drivers that we're used to seeing further back do really well, and he's gained a couple of positions as well, so it could definitely be a future star if he's able to keep this pace up. Obviously, they're 18 seconds behind our leaders, but still, a top 5 is a top 5 no matter how you get it.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in a league like the Monday Night Skippys League. A top 5 or top 6 even is nothing to complain about. It's a good result, as it looks like MacArthur's got a good exit, and he's close in the slipstream behind Budgeon, and I wonder if MacArthur will try and do the same again, try and foot up the inside, or if he'll just maybe wait until the last lap, as he's getting closer in the slipstream. Is he going to go for a move on Budgeon? It looks like he is, and he's up the inside of Budgeon, and can he get this move done this time around? Yes, he can. It's
a good move. See if he can hold on to it this time. Then it's 3 laps to go. The 18 is right there though, trying to find a way back past him. Gonna try and get to the outside here to get a better line into the S's. Tries to cross over there but there just isn't any way through unless you're side by side into this. It's very hard to get alongside another car, and they are approaching a car up ahead, but that would be Tim Adcock. You saw him very quickly down there, so that's a lap car. There's nothing to worry about, and at the front they're getting a little bit closer, but they're not fighting yet, so see if they can get something going here towards the end. Wade now within a few tenths of our race leader, and Adam Miles right behind, and it's these three guys battling for the championship. And having done some quick calculations on drop weeks, it is still obviously Adam Miles leading the way, but he is only 27 ahead of Nathan Wade and 29 ahead of Nicholas von Roberts. So if they finish this way around, this way that they're running right now, that would be the best possible outcome going into the final. What would be even better is if Matta got past Adam Miles and he dropped a few more places, because then they could all be tied. But seeing these three in the top three, I think this is the best way for them to finish. As here comes Adam Miles up the inside on Nathan Wade. It's 2 laps to go, and Miles wants to get these points. He wants to try and get as close to secure championship as he possibly can. And well, it looks like he's not going to get it done this time. Nathan Wade coming around the outside, so good run for him there, and Wade will hold on to second.
Yep, Miles tried to get the move up the inside, but with Wade being on the outside, especially in the exit, he managed to carry that momentum down the hill and just stay in front. So I think Adam Miles is realising now he needs to finish in front of Wade to basically keep that championship advantage and keep that gap as well. But I think he can't really afford to do anything too optimistic or be over eager into turn one. He needs to, if I was him, maybe just settle, finish in third place and take the points. But that's the horse's person and me talking.
Yeah, it looks like Nicholas von Roberts is actually going to hold on to this lead for now, because Miles making a move on Wade there, that dropped him back quite a bit, and we'll have to see what's going to happen here. But with Adam Miles scoring a good finish here today, and his drop weeks, or his second best drop week being a 28, he said at this point he's scoring a 31. The least he's going to score in the final is a 28, so having a 27 minus 9-point lead, that's 18 points, and he scores 28 next week, that's only 12. So at this point Adam Miles is actually securing the championship. So like you said earlier, I think a top 6 will definitely secure him no matter what happens. So at this point he should just be taking it easy. So seeing him make that move earlier definitely surprised me. But here's Nathan Wade now. We're on the final lap. Nicholas von Roberts holding tight on the inside all the way up on the curb, and I'm not really sure where the limit is for a slowdown, but Nathan Wade is still right next to him, side by side in through the S's. They make it work. They're not side by side anymore though, so where von Roberts comes out with the lead again, and this is definitely a tight fight for second in the championship no matter what. I'm not sure if Adam Miles knows that this would pretty much secure him the championship, but if he does, I would not expect to see him make a move on these guys at all. Obviously always want to win a race, but if you've got a championship to race for... Oh, no! Contact between both of them. What happened there? I think von Roberts might have had a slowdown, and both Adam Miles and Nicholas von Roberts goes... Actually, Miles goes off, von Roberts keeps going. He lost his rear wing. Now Adam Miles is in the lead. That was Nathan Wade going off. Sorry, not Adam Miles. Not really sure which name I said, but Adam Miles up into the lead. Nathan Wade is towed back to the garage. And unless Nicholas von Roberts sends the 85 off the track here, Adam Miles has won the championship. Definitely, no matter what happens here. Nicholas von Roberts having a peek up the inside, no rear wing, but obviously you don't need that in these cars. Here he comes. He's going to retake the lead. Wade actually just giving it to him. He knows he doesn't need to get taken out here. So coming out of the final corner is Nicholas von Roberts. We have no idea what happened, but he will win the UK&I Monday Night Skippys here at Circuit of the Americas. But your champion tonight will be Nathan Wade, coming home in second, with George Matic finishing third.
That was a great race, and yeah, it was Adam Miles finishing in second there, but yeah, just so much going on, it's hard to keep up there. I just about got Adam Miles mixed up with Nathan Wade there myself, but that was unfortunate for Wade. But I think Adam Miles was being sensible there, and just with Nick von Roberts going up the inside, just decided not to make a big deal of it. But as I look at the replay, I think Nick von Roberts did indeed get a slowdown, and I think Nathan Wade might have just been confused or caught out there.
Yeah, definitely did. But we all completely forgot about the battle behind there as well, which then with that all turning to battle for 4th, where Terry McGrother pulled away, and I'm not really sure what happened to Kevin Budgeon there, but he dropped back massively. Anyway, Nicholas Von Roberts wins the race here tonight with Adam Miles in 2nd, winning the championship. George Matta comes home in 3rd, and Terry McGrother, his 11th best place finish before, and now he's got a 4th place finish. What an achievement from him. Jeff Randall in 5th, Greg Roof in 6th, Nathan Wade unofficially scored here in 6th. I think he scored even further down because he never finished. So Patrick Bennett should be up there in 7th. And then Kevin Budgeon 8th, Chris Wayne 9th, Patrick Bennett in 10th on this list. My list is going up and down as well. So just go with what it says here. Nathan Wade, Budgeon, Wayne, and then Patrick Bennett in P number 10 for now. Here we go, this is updated. Greg Ruffin 6th now. Kevin Budgeon dropped all the way down to 7th. So he must have had an off. Rebecca Bell came back to finish 8th after having been in the pits. Alan Patterson in 9th, and David Clapham now finishes in top 10, and that's one of his best results as well, with Seth Brown in 11th, Patrick Bennett in 12th, Dave Dowson in 13th, Chris Wayne in 14th, Nathan Wade eventually in 15th, Martin Armitage in 16th, Ollie Pimley 17th, Tim Adcock one lap down in 18th, and then Stefan Nobis and Dave Devine crashed out. I think they've actually had some connection issues, unfortunately. Adam Miles as well on lap number 10 set the fastest lap of the race, but the most important part is that he is the champion as far as we know. We haven't got any interview victims in here just yet. Bit quick here, so they might come any moment. But any final thoughts on that race, Ryan, before we move on to the interviews?
It was a bit of a crazy finish there, but yeah, it was just unfortunate for Nathan Wade. I think looking back at the replay, he tried to go up the inside, off the track ever so slightly, but that's just the way it goes. And Adam Miles as well, he took advantage of Wade's misfortunes, and like you say, pretty much he's got the championship wrapped up with one round remaining, so it's a bit of pressure off his back.
Definitely is. I'm just quickly trying to figure out here what the scores actually are after today's race. It's 22 points between them at the top there, between actually 24 points between Nicholas Von Roberts and Adam Miles, and with Miles' biggest drop being 28, that means that Miles can, or Von Roberts can only gain 12 points, so he has won the championship by at least 10 points, so great job from him. And we have our second place finisher today, but our 2021 season for UK and Ireland Monday Night Skippys champion Adam Miles here with us. How does that sound, Adam?
It sounds great. Starting out the season, I didn't really know what to expect, who the competition was going to be, but I knew I'd have an uphill struggle to try and retain the title from last year. It's just a relief to be able to do it before the last corner, the last lap of the last race. So really happy with how that race went. Penultimate corner had Nick on my inside. I was on 14x off tracks out of 15. I knew if I had a 1x, or if we came into contact at all, I'd get a 40-second penalty and lose P2. So just backed out and came home P2.
Yeah, a little bit more comfortable than last season when you won it by half an nose coming across the line after a dive bomb into the hairpin at Long Beach. But still, pretty eventful race. 4 of you racing, then Matt, who had a slowdown, dropped off. But 3 of you looked like towards the end there you were going at it pretty hard. Were you trying to get the win, or were you kind of just trying to find openings, but at the same time protecting to make sure that you get that top 3 to win the championship?
Yeah, I mean, I would have made moves into turn 1, but probably nowhere else on the track. Turn 1 move is a pretty safe move, but anywhere else you're really at risk of, particularly through the S's with the orange sausage curbs. I don't know if anyone lost suspension during the race, but throughout the week I've been losing front left or front right wheels to the S's, so there's just took a bit of a chill pill early on. I went too wide, I think, with Nathan once through the S's, and then again with I don't know if it was Nathan again or whether it was Nick, but then I thought, look, this is silly. I shouldn't be doing this in this particular race. So next week I can drive like a maniac, but I had to be pretty careful this one.
Yeah, still a very good race from you, taking it easy, bringing home that championship. So congratulations on that one. Hope to see you back in 2022, trying to go for a third straight.
Great, thank you very much.
Next up, we have a race winner with us, and Ryan standing by with him.
Yeah, Nick Von Roberts taking the win in a dramatic final lap. Nick, and it looked like you slowed down heading into that last sector. Did you get a slowdown, or was it a missed shift?
No, purely just a mistake. I didn't slow down, but yeah, it was great. A good race. Adam, congratulations to him, obviously winning the championship. And yeah, he did a good battle through a few of the S's as well. So he put his car on the line, which is fair play to him. Yeah, it's a good race.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a great battle between you, Nathan, and Adam, and most of that race. After George ended up falling back with what we believe was a slowdown, looking ahead to the last round next week with Adam pretty much wrapping up the championship. It's pretty much just a battle for best of the rest of the league. Do you think you can finish ahead of him, Nathan?
Brands Hatch. I don't know. I haven't been on that track for quite a while. So yeah, that should be an interesting race. That's the full length, I think, as well. So yeah, that should be a good one. It's all to play for now. I think maybe second still on between me and Nathan. So that should be a close one. I was sort of at the end there because I know Nathan. I knew I didn't really want to get involved in the battle. Obviously, I wanted to win the race, but I couldn't give Nathan the room on the inside there. It was a bit bad, but that's the way it was. Yeah, but we're still on for second, possibly. So yeah.
Yeah, excuse me. And before we let you go, Nick, is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to you guys, obviously, and Alan as well, and Adam for winning the championship again this year. Fair play. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, again, congratulations on the win tonight, Nick, and we look forward to seeing you on track at the final round at Brands Hatch next week.
Yeah, great. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
That was race winner Nick Von Roberts joining us, and I believe up next we have got George Matic, who finished in third place.
He certainly did. George Matic, you were in contention again for your first ever victory, but a slowdown kind of backed you out of that, and then some stuff at the end gave you third place. But how was that race up until that slowdown for you?
Evening, guys. Yeah, it was weird. I'll be honest, man. It was strange because I wanted to help Nathan out. Obviously, we're good friends. I wanted to help him out with the championship as much as possible. So, there was like 4 to 5 times where if it was an official race, I'm going down the inside into turn 1 or even last corner having a look. But I stayed there because the gap early on in the race between second and third to Nathan was like 6 tenths. I knew if I went, they'd probably break away and Adam and Nick would just drive it off into the sunset. So I stayed there. In hindsight, maybe I should have just gone, but I was trying to help him out with the championship. And then, we got a moment on Adam when they went side by side in front, and I knew that I could sneak up inside. And I went there and I got a slowdown, massive slowdown. It was like 1.5, I think. But I'd been cutting that curve all week, or the last couple of days anyway. So, maybe that was just a little bit too much, but it was just one of those races. And then from then on, they were just driving off, and there was nothing I could do. I was looking at mine and Nick's lap times, and he was putting like half a tenth every lap on me. So I'm comparing him to me with no draft, and obviously the two behind him just put away with the draft. So there's nothing I can do but gain a spot with the craziness on the last lap. So third place, not too bad, but I felt like I should have sent it early on.
So by my calculations, you would now be 6 points ahead of Kevin Budgeon in the championship in a battle for 4th place. With him finishing 7th today, is that anything you're going to think about going into the final round, or are you just going to go for the win and just think, no, it doesn't matter if I'm 4th or 5th in the championship?
I'm not even looking at the championship. If I'm not first, then I'm not bothered. So I just want to go for the win. I knew tonight was important because Nathan could possibly, get it back if Adam had a DNF or something. If he had one more contact at the end of the race, he's out or he gets the penalty. So I knew I had to be sensible and try and help him out. But probably should have been more aggressive. I felt like I had great pace yesterday, and I managed to quality like half a second in front of everybody last night. It was high soft, and then it just disappeared overnight for some reason. So yeah, it was just a strange one, but let's see. Brands, that should be fun. So looking forward to that to round off the season. And I guess there's no strings now if Adam's already wrapped it up. But I guess it's just going to be one of those fun races.
Hopefully it will. Well, good job on a 3rd place finish anyway, and hope to see you next week, maybe in victory lane for the first time.
Thank you. Cheers.
As that was George Mattock today, finishing 3rd place. Good race here today, Ryan, from Circuit of the Americas. Obviously hoping for some more battling, but any expectations going into the final now that the championship is wrapped up?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Brands Hatch. It's always a great track for these cars, and I think next week it should be great racing to round out the season. And I think that battle for 2nd place in the championship now is going to be the one to watch. It's pretty much with it being the last round, that's pretty much just going to be a gloves off, no holds barred battle, if you like.
Yeah, I think the same. Again, if my calculations are correct, with this win, Nicholas von Roberts is up to 300 points with Nathan Wade on 288. Using a drop week. I could be wrong as always, but it looks like Wade has a 12-point deficit to dig himself out of. Before we wrap up, obviously a couple of shout outs here. Terry McGrath, like we said, 4th place finish, first time in the top 10. David Clapham scoring his 2nd ever top 10 finish here with 10th place, and Rebecca Bell, in his 1st ever race in the Skippys, ran well all race, had an incident but still finished P8. So a few good results here for some guys that are usually further back, taking advantage of some people having some issues. But it's been, as always, a great race here from the UK&I Monday Night Skippys at Circuit of the Americas. Next week we head to Brands Hatch for the final round of the season. Again, massive congratulations to Adam Miles on wrapping up the championship. My name is Linus Broström, joined as always by Ryan Walker, with Hugo Luis doing the job behind the cameras tonight. Until next week, take care everybody, stay safe and have a good week. Goodbye.